So our winning streak has finally come to an end, guys. The West Coast has not been kind to us. It's tough to go East from West, but we were able to eke one out with the Jazz, but we lost to the freaking Kings. There is no way, shape, or form that we should have lost to that team last night. They are abysmal. They have the worst offense in the league. They are in almost every statistical category. They're in the bottom. And we just straight up blew it. It's a shame. We had it in hand. We were up 6, I believe, with a minute so to go, and we choked. We just completely gave it up. It almost happened in the Utah game. We almost gave that lead up. Luckily, we had luck on our side, and we were able to eke that win out, and that was without JoJo. JoJo finally came back. Thank God. You figured he would have played against Utah. Being 5 days off, there was no reason he should have not played. There's this whole load management, whatever that's all about. I think it's a load of crap, if you ask me. It's garbage. We need JoJo out there. He looked sluggish in this game. His timing was a little bit off. His stamina's just not there. The guy's fine. You can't baby gloves him. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You got to get this kid out there. You're really messing with his chemistry. And as we all know, JoJo didn't play. Okafor was out there. And he looked horrible. But can you blame him? He has barely played in any games. The only other game he played in was against Toronto, which we got blown out in. In that Utah game, he got 3 quick fouls, 2 or 3 turnovers. He looked awful. But you can't blame him if he's not playing. His timing's off. There's nothing like real-time, live play. You can practice. You can do everything you want to try to simulate it. But it's not going to match what real game time, is like in a game. So we have to get JoJo in the games. I can understand the back-to-backs. If you don't want to play him with back-to-back games right after one another, that's fine. Don't. When we have 5 days off, there's no excuse that he shouldn't be playing. He's well-rested. We got to get this kid acclimated back to where he was. His stamina's got to get back up so he can be able to play 40-some minutes at some point, whenever that may be. But, there's no reason we should have lost. Everybody played pretty good last night. I have a couple things I'd like to point out. In that situation, when you got Fox taking the last shot, you don't want him to drive. So Covington did everything he could. He did everything right in the scouting report. You stopped him. You want him to pull up and take a shot because he's not a very good shooter. He struggled in that area, and Luck had it when it was on his side. He drained it right in our face. We had 12 seconds left. Brett Brown had 2 timeouts. 2 timeouts. Now, I've said I liked his style before about him letting the kids play through and learning from their mistakes. But in that situation, when it comes down to the last shot and you've got a very young team like that, that's when you use a timeout, Brett. I know you had a minute beforehand in the postgame. He talked about we had a play drawn up. They strayed away from it. It was chaos. Ben Simmons kind of went rogue and just kind of passed off. That is not the game-winning shot you want to have. You don't want to have JoJo having a fadeaway 15-footer over Willie Cauley-Stein to be your last shot to win the game. That was terrible. It was awful. In that situation, I feel like Ben should have took over. He should have orchestrated the offense, and he should have took the last shot because of his ability to get to the 10. No problems at all. You're the point for. You don't want to be the point forward at that point. You want to be the point guard. But, JoJo had a really good game last night. Ben did too. The turnovers just kill us. They just absolutely kill us game in and game out. We averaged the most turnovers out of any team. We had 17 last night. And it doesn't really help when you shoot 17 from 29 from the stripe. We really, really need to work on that. We're one of the lowest teams in the NBA at shooting percentages from the free throw line. It's been an Achilles heel for 5 years now. It's awful. You cannot have... That's how many points, if you add it all up, that could have been added to the score. You don't lose to a dumpster fire like the Sacramento Kings. They're the equivalent of the Cleveland Browns of the NBA. They're an awful team. 2-8. And their spirits were high. They came off that win of beating Oklahoma City. They were in their home court. So they're all fired up. They've got all the energy in the world. They got the fans in it, backing them up. And the last couple sets, last couple plays, they were just broken plays. It looked awful. When Gary Temple threw up that last three-pointer towards the end of the game, and it somehow went in, we were scrambling for the ball. Everybody had butterfingers. They couldn't grip that ball. And then the first time that when there was 18 seconds left, De'Aaron Fox went to go make a drive, and the ball rolled right out of his hands, hit JoJo right in the chest, and then it bounced right in between Saric and Ben Simmons. They couldn't corral it, so it gave them another chance to get another playoff. It's just, we gave that game away last night. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. We gave it away. They shouldn't have won. We should have beat teams. I've said it before in my previous videos. We got to beat up teams like this. If you're going to keep, close contention, and you want to be in close contention for playing for multiple championship playoff games, you got to beat teams like this with no problem. I know we're going to have struggles. I understand that. They're a young team. Of course. No doubt. But teams like that, you should be able to beat no problem. We just gave it away. And I feel like that bad play carried over from the Utah game. We just struggled greatly. And we can't play like that against Golden State. We really can't. I don't know if they just figured, going into Sacramento, they're going to be able to beat this team. No problem. I just got a phone call. I don't know what just happened. I don't know if they just cut this video off. But, yeah, you just can't lay down like that. When you're going to play a team like Golden State, you got to be firing all cylinders. So I'm hoping they just weren't looking forward to that game, because they're the best team in the NBA right now. They got a lot of stars, and we got to bring our A game if we're going to play these cats. So, just very disappointing to see something like that. I was really pissed about that game. We got to beat teams like that. It's just a shame. There's going to be learning curves for sure. I know this. I just hate to say it. I hate seeing the Sixers lose, especially teams they should easily beat. The bench killed us too. Their bench, they outscored us by, I think, 39 or 40-something points. We only had 17 points off the bench. They had 56, I believe. Just a disappointing loss. But we got Golden State Saturday. I'm hoping we're able to, bring our A game. I'm hoping JoJo's going to be able to play. We're going to need everybody. Ben Simmons has been unbelievable. He's been the leader of this team. But in that situation, I want to see Ben come out and finish this. Come out, take the last shot. I want Brett Brown to call a timeout in that situation. Get these young kids corralled. You have a young team. Even if you had a minute before that last play, you call a timeout regardless. Why do you want to take them into the end of the game? That's why you have them, Brett. Just take it. Just take the timeout. Let them play through their, bad situations that they have during the game. Not for the last shot. Not when you're going out for the win. We gave that away, but disappointing to see. I'm hoping this whole video game came out because I see it's only a minute now as opposed to the 6 minutes. So I don't know what happened. I'm hoping that stupid phone call didn't cut everything out. But if so, I'll just make another video real quick. But it's Kyle Gaffner with the